안녕하세요. Riding on the Korean wave. Welcome to a brand new week on The Culture Wave. I'm Kwon Soo-hwa in Seoul. Explore with us Korea's culture from all aspects and stay up to date with K-entertainment, K-people, K-food, K-everything. And joining me today in the studio is my co-host Walter Lee. Hello, Walter.
Hello, Soa, and happy Monday to our viewers at home. Walter Lee here to co-host alongside Soa and give you your daily dose of K-enter news.
And we're also joined by Arirang's culture correspondent Park Konu. Konu, it's been a while. Welcome.
Hello, Konu.
Hi guys, it's really been a while. And also a big hello to our viewers as well. I've missed this golden seat for a while. But anyways, I got some interesting news just for you guys also for today as well, so stay tuned.
And I guess that golden was kind of a hint to your topic today. So, Kono, you've had a range of one-on-one interviews with renowned figures, and another person has been added to that list.
Of course, so that is mega hit singer-songwriter Ejae, who also participated and also sang herself on many K-pop Demon Hunters tracks, official soundtracks, including Golden, Takedown, Free, and What It Sounds Like. And during her visit to Korea last week, we talked about the stories behind her chart-topping single Golden, challenges she's faced and had to overcome, and even her next big goals. She seemed like the most humblest and kindest person in the world, and during the interview I was also inspired by so many of her answers. But before I give it too much away, first take a look at my interview with her. Up, 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 Ejae goes, breaking records by topping the Billboard Hot 100 for 8 straight weeks. When Golden first hit #1, she says there was one person she couldn't stop thinking about.
The first thing I thought of was 11, 12-year-old Ejae working her butt off in the studio at SM. And it was, a little message to her if it reached, that you did so good.
For more than 2 decades, she's faced her share of hardships, especially during her 10+ years as a K-pop trainee. Though she failed to debut as an idol back then, she says every moment happened for a reason.
I never, ever thought I'd be a songwriter in my life. That was never in my wish list. It just kind of organically happened when, after I came out of SM, I didn't know what I was supposed to do.
She spent long hours working alone, training herself to be better at songwriting. Then came the pandemic.
When that happened, we had to stay home. So it was hard, but it was honestly, in a way, amazing. It was a great experience because that's when I actually learned how to teach myself how to record. And a lot of songwriters don't really know how to record themselves or mix.
Through lessons learned from hard times, she joined the K-pop Demon Hunters team and helped spark a global phenomenon. As excitement builds for a possible sequel, Ejae told us about her creative ideas without hesitation.
트로트, literally. That would be amazing. So we'd love to explore the 판소리 아리랑 world.
And with the soundtrack's success, Golden was submitted in multiple categories for next year's Grammy Awards, boosting her chances for a win.
Winning a Grammy Award is truly something I wish I saw a fellow Korean American woman, Asian American woman in the industry to win. It would open doors for so many people.
After all these achievements, she reflects on what her younger self might say to her today. What do you think 11-year-old Ejae would tell you, seeing you now in one of your most golden moments of your life?
Oh my God, that's another emotional question. I think she'd just be like, thank you.
At the same time, she admits feeling pressure as expectations on her are so high.
Be like water. And I love that saying. That's kind of the concept of whatever comes your way, even if there's a lot of pressure, just do your best. Do whatever you can and 최선을 다해.
She also offered a heartfelt message to anyone chasing their dreams.
If my story helps, please work hard, be resilient, be kind to yourself, and also be kind to others. Everyone needs a little bit of kindness.
With that mindset, Ejae says she's working on her next steps, getting better at songwriting and exploring who she is as an artist, poised to shine golden as she was born to be.
Ejae is such an inspirational person. I've become a huge fan of hers, and now especially after your interview, Konu.
Yeah, that was the same thing for me.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. So she's definitely one of the most inspirational people of 2025, in my opinion. But she's also wrote a lot of other K-pop songs, is that correct?
Yes, a bunch. I mean, she's written scores of K-pop hits, including, "It Got Me Feeling Like a Psycho, Psycho, Psycho" by Red Velvet.
Oh, slightly different melody from what I remember.
A lower key, And then also like Armageddon and Drama by aespa and plenty more. And I just named a few, but honestly, those were like one of my favorites hits of those each of those artists. And naturally, I was curious how she comes up with so many great ideas. She's well known to have gotten inspiration for the highlight melodies of Golden on her way to the dentist. And I asked her for any other random moments when inspiration just strikes.
Drama, I was watching TikTok and I saw this fabulous drag queen and she kept saying like, "Am I the drama? I'm not the drama. Am I? Maybe I am the drama." And I love that saying. And so that's kind of where I got the inspiration for that song.
Very interesting. I really can't wait to hear more of her songs. And I actually got a kind of hint from one of her posts on her social media that showed a part of her journal about one of her future plans. And you're going to tell us the details.
It's great news I've got you here. So first of all, she's releasing her very first solo single called In Another World on the 24th. And she explains it as a very peaceful and calm song, something that you'll be listening during your nighttime walk. And she's been keeping that to herself for quite a while, and she's releasing it now very soon. And I'm sure many of you guys are wondering what it'll sound like. So I've brought a very short, exclusive spoiler. So those who miss it might regret it. So listen carefully. Here we go. But can you also give us a little exclusive spoiler, like a little hum or something?
Da 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 da. That's it.
So I'm probably sure this will be a very epic thing after she releases her song. And anyways, aside from that, she also shared her desire to collaborate with global artists, including BTS, especially the member Jungkook, and also Dua Lipa and Sabrina Carpenter as well. So, but when she says collaboration with pop artists, she means adding a touch of Korean style to the mix. So that's definitely an intriguing project we should look forward to, since she also said she has lots and lots of music that's unrevealed yet.
I can't wait for all of that to come out. And thank you very much, Konu, for that coverage, and hope to see you again soon.
Thank you, Konu.
See you.
And now it's time for our K-Enter News with Walter Lee. Walter, starting off with some news about Stray Kids.
Yes, indeed. So on Saturday and Sunday, Stray Kids celebrated the conclusion to their world tour, Dominate, with their Korean fans through their encore concert, Dominate, Celebrate, held in Incheon. Now, over 11 months, Stray Kids have performed 54 shows across 34 cities worldwide, making it the group's largest tour to date. Now, during the tour, the group also released their studio album, Karma, which topped the Billboard 200, making their 7th consecutive #1 entry on the main albums chart. However, there is more album news to come. Now, at the end of Sunday's concert, a teaser trailer was shown announcing the group's upcoming album, which is set to be released on November 21st.
And Walter, next up, we have some super news to share.
Indeed, we do. So legendary boy group Super Junior have just wrapped up the Latin American leg of their 20th World Tour, Super Show 10, which began in Seoul in August. Now, in Latin America, the shows were held in Mexico City, Monterrey, Lima, and also Santiago. Now, no strangers to Latin America, Super Junior made headlines in 2013 with Super Show 5, which was the largest tour of Latin America by a Korean artist at that time. Now, for the Latin American concerts, Super Junior curated a special set list tailored to local fans, featuring songs such as Lo Siento, which made them the first Korean artist to enter the Billboard's Latin charts. Now, Super Junior will continue their world tour with a 3-day concert at Taipei Dome in Taipei from November 14th to 16th.
Lo siento, lo siento. I'm sorry, Walter, but we have to move on. And we're going to move on with K-drama.
Yes, an exciting K-drama coming up. The trailer and teaser poster for the Kupang Play and Genie TV original series Unity, Our Neighborhood Commando has sparked interest with online K-drama fans. The drama is a comedy about a group of former reserve special forces soldiers who reunite, this time not to protect the nation or world peace, but just purely to defend their families and neighborhood. Now, Our Neighborhood Commando will premiere on November 17th at 10 p.m. Korean time on Kupang Play and Genie TV, with also a simultaneous broadcast on ENA.
All right, thank you for those updates, Walter, and stick around.
Will do.
And now let's go over to our AI anchor, Ari, for more on the culture front. Ari?
Hello and welcome to your AI guide to the latest cultural updates from Korea. Here's our top story. The Royal Palaces and Tomb Center of the Korea Heritage Service announced that the 4 royal palaces, Gyeongbokgung, Changdeokgung, Gyeoksugung, and Changgyeonggung, as well as Jongmyo Shrine and the Joseon Royal Tombs, will be open without charge from October 29th to November 9th. This is in line with the Korea Grand Festival, which runs on those same dates, and is the largest government-led discount event. The Royal Palaces and Tomb Center explained that they hope to increase public participation and promote access to cultural experiences. The 2025 Taewagang Garden Autumn Festival will be held in Ulsan from October 24th to the 26th at the Taewagang National Garden, under the theme, The Autumn Garden Where the Wind Rests, with its opening ceremony to take place at 6:40 p.m. on October 24th. This year's festival will feature the spectacular works of world-renowned designer Pete Odolph through the display of autumnal plants including chrysanthemums, pink molly grass, pampas grass, cosmos, and silver grass. This year's festival has significantly expanded hands-on experience programs for visitors, including groups being able to plant a small garden within the National Garden, and various programs catered to children and families. CNN has selected the Korean keranbang on its list of 50 of the world's best breads. Simply translating to egg bread, CNN introduced keranbang as a favorite street food of Seoul, describing the whole egg baked inside the individually sized wheat bread as buried treasure within every loaf. The list reflects diversity and memorable flavor, as well as unique ingredients or iconic status. Also included on the list were France's baguette, Italy's ciabatta, Japan's karepan, and biscuits from the United States. That's all from me. Stay tuned to the Culture Wave.
The sea where you stand, there I am. Amid waves breaking and the breath of the wind, my spirit has dwelt for over 1,000 years. I am Munmu, the 30th king of Shilla. On battlefields where swords clashed and war cries echoed, I defeated Ejae and later Goguryeo, unifying the 3 kingdoms. When the Tang dynasty swept in like a storm, I repelled them and safeguarded our land's independence. Yet no mortal escapes the passage of time. At my final hour, I told my ministers, cremate me and scatter my ashes in the eastern sea, where I shall become a dragon guarding unified Shilla. And so it was done. 200 paces from the shore lies Taewang-am, my resting place, where the waves keep eternal watch. When storms gather, I rise with the tide, tearing the sails of enemies and overturning their ships. Thus have I watched over this land. Behold, Gyeongju still prospers. Where once the horizon bristled with enemy sails, now travelers from distant shores arrive. They bring not spears, but greetings, not war, but exchange and dialogue. Oh, you who walk these shores, heed the message. carried by the waves. Without peace, no prosperity can endure. Stay true to that path, and the sea and wind shall guard you always.
Jib means home. Bap means meal. Jibbap is the Korean word for home-cooked meal. Recently, Americans are said to be preferring home-cooked meals over eating out. And with the already growing interest in K-food, this trend is expected to present new opportunities for the Korean food market. Let's talk more about this with Robert Koo, a specialist in food studies and Korean-American studies. Welcome, Mr. Koo.
Welcome, Mr. Gu.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So we did talk to you over the line online before, but now we're having you here in person. So great to meet you here in the studio. So first and foremost, could you tell us maybe what's the recent jibbap you had recently?
Myself? Mm-hmm. Oh, let's see. The last meal I cooked before coming to Korea last week, I think I cooked some chicken with cilantro. It's a Middle Eastern dish with some green olives. It's like a tagine with some basmati rice.
Mm-hmm. Oh. And what maybe some other home-style cooked foods that you ate here after coming to Korea recently?
You know, since arriving in Korea, I've not had the opportunity to have any home-cooked meals because all my friends and colleagues tend to want to take me out to places that that they enjoy, new places. There's so many amazing restaurants in Seoul, so I've been mostly eating out.
Okay, but you know that there are also many restaurants that actually have jibbap. So you go to a restaurant but eat kind of home-style food. Yes.
Yeah. Last night I went to have some galbitang. Not galbitang. I'm sorry. Gamjatang.
Okay.
Which was sort of a very home-style restaurant.
Okay.
Especially in the countryside, sometimes you go to what looks like a person's house, and it's a restaurant actually, and it turns out just to be sort of more home family-style meals, but it's actually a restaurant. But Mr. Gu, how would you compare the differences between, let's say, home-cooked meals in, let's say, the US or California and in Korea?
Yeah, that's a hard question only because in the United States is such a large country with so many different types of people, different backgrounds, and different states and cities, and I'm sure similar to Korea. But generally, I think recently, because of the prices of groceries becoming so expensive, I think people are even thinking second thoughts about maybe does it save money to cook at home? But when they do, in terms of Korean food, the options available for a home cook to cook Korean food now is greater than ever. So that's been very exciting. The H-Marts are opening up in many big cities, so a lot of opportunities for American home cooks to, I think, experiment if they haven't before with Korean food.
Right, and H-Mart, of course, referring to Korean grocery store, the big ones. And recently, so do you see that preference actually for cooking at home over eating out in the US? Do you see that happening around you?
I think people always want to eat at home, but it's never that practical oftentimes because people have busy lives. They have to work, they have to take care of kids. And then cooking can be very time-consuming. Also, cleaning after is time-consuming. And so I think a lot of people tend to be eating out. But when they cook at home, because, once again, talking about Korean food, because there are now so many products that are sort of semi-cooked, that all you have to do is heat it up, or you just include it in a simple meal at home. So I think you have all different types of approach to preparing a home meal.
Let's stay on that subject of those home meals or the ones that you put in the microwave, quickly heat it up. Frozen kimbap has been a big thing these days. Have you seen, obviously, the growing interest in Korean meal kits, frozen food, sauces, etc.? Have you seen actually yourself when you go to the grocery stores or just, maybe amongst your friends as well?
Oh, absolutely. I think more so than people cooking Korean food, non-Korean, say, cooking Korean food at home by scratch. I think most are cooking using these sort of semi-prepared products. So CJ Foods and Bibigo is one example of a company whose products now appear throughout the country nationally, even in stores that you may not think make sense. So not make sense, even smaller markets. Yeah. And so in small rural areas where my mother lives in the state of Georgia, I went to visit her, and in the local grocery store, there were Bibigo products. And of course, in Los Angeles, it's just everywhere.
Right. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know, I really like it how in Korea, when you have those meal kits, they have those levels, level 1, 2, or 3, depending on how hard it is to cook or how easy it is to cook those meal kits. Do they have the same categories or descriptions in the U.S.? I was just wondering.
I think they're starting to, but it's not that detailed just yet. But it's a matter of time, I think, because it seems a lot of the trends that are established here in South Korea, eventually, if it becomes popular enough, comes over to the U.S.
And that'll make it even more easier and more approachable to cook these Korean foods. And also speaking about trends, many people learn about Korean food and Korean recipes through social media these days. So could you tell us a little bit about those kind of contents?
Yeah, I mean, I personally learned how to cook Korean food because I cooked all my life, not all my life, most of my life. But I've rarely cooked Korean until recently, until the time of COVID, actually. When COVID happened, I started to watch Baek Jong-won on YouTube. And so I cooked about 20 of his recipes, and I learned how to cook Korean through him. But now what I'm sensing is TikTok is the most powerful social medium for people who want to, younger people, I think, who want to learn to cook various foods. And I'm seeing so much K-content, K-foods appearing on TikTok more than ever. And those TikTok oftentimes feature shorter clips of how to prepare, which I think appeals to younger folks more. Right. But it's amazing the variety of the types of Korean food that is depicted or that is represented. It's both on the one end, hanchik, and the other end, punchik. You know, things like ramen and corn dogs and so forth. So you have the whole spectrum, I think, right now being very much becoming popular in the US.
I love to save those videos of those 1-minute recipes. It looks like it takes a minute, but actually it doesn't really take a minute.
A long time. Usually with certain Korean foods as well. And I know that, well, food is universal, right? It doesn't bound by language. It bounds, just by looking at something. And the TikTok videos are very, very common these days. And they, everyone loves to use them as their recipe book now. So it's great. But let's keep to the subject of, let's say, trends. Or maybe you saw just before that we were talking a little bit about K-pop Demon Hunters, all right? So there's other challenges that have been sort of spawning from K-pop Demon Hunters, one including the, it's called the Kimbap One-Shot Challenge or something, and has gone viral due to the movie itself. How much are K-movies or K-dramas affecting or influencing the popularity of Korean food, do you think?
I think it has a tremendous effect and influence. Perhaps more so than any other factor. Because for the past, I would say, 10 years especially, and more recently with Netflix providing so much K-content, there are so many programs on Netflix that's K-food themed. Not only documentaries, there's a whole Rhapsody series and Nation of series that feature all kinds of Korean foods. But there's also now Korean dramas and competition shows. So I would say in the past couple of years, certainly Culinary Class Wars was a viral runaway hit among many people in the US. And of course, the K-pop Demon Hunters, for different reasons and also including more different types of audiences, have been a bigger influence. And also recently, Bon Appetit, My Majesty with Yuna.
Right.
I think that's also been a very big popular hit. And if you add all those up, there's a general real excitement about anything Korean related right now. Some may think it's maybe too much, it's overplayed, especially parents of like 10-year-olds who want to hear, Golden over and over again. But overall, I think this is for me, an unprecedented moment where haven't seen so much interest in anything, all things Korean, such as now.
It is amazing how we see, for instance, I remember how you earlier told us about Attorney Woo, how kimbap was a big appearance in there, and now we see it over and over again. And finally, before we let you go, I would like to ask you for a recommendation of a jibbap for all our global viewers. What would that be?
Recommendation for, you mean for global viewers to be making at home themselves?
Yes.
You know, as a Korean American who grew up, I was born in Korea, but I grew up in Hawaii. Spam has always been a big, important food for me. So I would say for someone who's brand new to cooking Korean food, there's nothing better than kimchi and spam fried rice.
Easy to make
and
very delicious.
Delicious, and you can fancy it up. You can add additional ingredients, or you can keep it simple. So I would say there are probably hundreds of recipes of spam and kimchi fried rice. So that would be the beginning, I think, for me.
Right. Probably our viewers can now search it on social media to find some spam and kimchi menus. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Gu, for joining us today on the program, and hope to see you again soon.
Thank you so much for having me. It was enjoyable.
Thank you. And thank you, Walter. As always, we're going to have you back here tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
And thank you for spending the past half an hour with us on the Culture Wave. Please join us again tomorrow on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Korea time, and maybe one day here in Korea.